everyone, and welcome once again. I'm back. I know I haven't been here for a couple weeks. I apologize. Things happen. Life, uh, matter of life, man. I mean, things happen, and it was unavoidable. Okay, but I'm back now. I am JT, aka the Master, and this is, as you can see behind you, For No Reason Fantasy Football. Got a great show in store for you today. We're going to be talking about week 7. Yeah, we're halfway through. For most leagues, we're halfway through the league. Halfway through the season, I should say. And time flies, man. Time flies. You could be 0-6, 1-5, 2-4, 3-3, which is decent. 4-2, which is better, quite naturally. 5-1, or even 6-0 if you're fortunate enough to be in at the support. But anything can happen. Like I said, we're halfway through the season. Just because you have a positive record at 4-2 or 5-1 or 6 and you're undefeated does not mean you're going to be in the playoffs. It doesn't mean that, because as quick as you got there to whatever your record is as quick as you can get on a negative side of that and miss the playoffs. So you got to be diligent in what you do each and every week in fantasy football. You can't slack up. You can't say, I can take this week off. You take a week off and a downward spiral will take hold. And you may not make the fantasy playoffs. And if you don't make the fantasy playoffs, quite naturally, you don't have a chance to get that coveted championship, okay? And whatever comes with that championship. I got a great show in store for you. We're going to be talking about what we know now as inactives or potential inactives. And then we're going to go into each and every game. And we're going to try to help you put those plays in place to give you positive results in your fantasy football matchups. Each of them, okay? I got some sleepers in each of them. Quite naturally, there's the game going on right now. Jacksonville Jaguars, New England Patriots. I think as we speak, the Patriots are winning 6-0. 7-0. I'm sorry, 7-0. And we'll see how Drake May and Trevor Lawrence make out in that, along with those players that are on each respective team. But we're not going to worry about that now. That's game in progress. You can't do anything about that now. You got players in place. If you have any players on those two teams in place right now, crossing your fingers, hoping they are in for the whole game and give you production that you want from your fantasy football teams. All right, we're going to be talking about starting with the 1:00 games and ending up with Monday Night Football. I think there's 2 games on Monday Night Football. We're going to end up with that. First of all, Seattle Seahawks at the Atlanta Falcons. I expect this to be a relatively high-scoring game. Both these teams are passing offenses with dynamic players on both sides of the ball. Now, I can tell you right now, Tyler Lockett is dealing with a knee, but he had a full session Friday and will play. Kenneth Walker was added as a questionable Saturday, which is Saturday. That's not good. That's not good. It should be viewed as a game-time decision. Now, people, if you are in any of these quite natural leagues, and just take a look. And if you have room on your roster, take a look. Take a gander. I know that's the old term, but take a gander on your players available list, waiver wire, whatever, free agents right now, and see if Zach Charbonnet is available. To be on the safe side, if you have room on your roster or your bench, grab Zach Charbonnet. Grab because he's got a very good. The running backs on Seattle have a favorable matchup against the Atlanta Falcons, and they have a very good backup in Zach Charbonnet behind Kenneth Walker. If for some reason, now he's going to be involved anyway. Zach Charbonnet, grab him. I would say grab him absolutely. Safeguard, and if your opponent has him, Kenneth Walker, and you see Zach Charbonnet sitting on that bench, and you have a room on your bench, grab him. Grab him. Okay. Just as a precaution that your opponent does not get him. I did that in one of my leagues. I definitely did that in one of my leagues. Okay. I've always said it's all fair in love and war and fantasy. Okay. All fair in love and war and fantasy. So I would grab him. Absolutely. All right. There's nothing else that I can say on the really fantasy wise on the Falcons. All right, let's move on to Tennessee Titans at the Buffalo Bills. Tyjae Spears is out. That's going to be a big day for Tony Pollard. Yeah, you play Tony Pollard. Treylon Burks went on the IR. Will Levis was downgraded from questionable and also won't be available. So guess who? Mason Rudolph. Mason Rudolph. Some people grab Mason Rudolph and I'll put him in the lineups. 2 quarterback leagues, you can do that. All right. On the Bills, Ray Davis was limited Thursday and Friday. He's questionable. James Cook is going to get James Cook is dealing with a toe. Josh Allen is dealing with a hand in practice Friday and will play. Dalton Kincaid is dealing with a collarbone. Okay. Let's move on to the Cincinnati Bengals at the Cleveland Browns. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Jerome Ford is out. Didn't practice all day. There's highly anticipated Nick Chubb. He practiced all week and has been removed from the physically unable to perform list and is projected to play. Naheem Hines is also questionable, but practiced all week. David Njoku more than likely will play. Donta Foreman more than likely will play. Jerry Jeudy was dealing with a knee and will probably play. Let's go to the Houston Texans at Green Bay Packers. I meant to mention Joe Burrow's dealing with a wrist and a shin, but he practiced all week and he should be good to go. Houston Texans at the Green Bay Packers. Nico Collins out on the IR. Running back Joe Mixon should play. He's dealing with an ankle. Dontavian Wicks was limited all week, and he's questionable. Christian Watson dealing with an ankle. Jaden Reed is dealing with an ankle. Tucker Kraft is dealing with a groin. We're all limited, but will play. All right? Miami Dolphins, quite naturally, Tua remains on the IR. Odell Beckham is dealing with a hamstring. It's questionable. Didn't practice Friday. Devon Achane, who sat out last week with a concussion, practiced all week and will go. Jonathan Taylor on the Indianapolis side has been ruled out. Josh Downs is dealing with the toe. Michael Pittman, I should say, is dealing with a back. Alex Pierce is dealing with a shoulder. Anthony Richardson is dealing with an oblique. Trey Sermon, a knee, are all good to go after full practice this Friday. Detroit Lions at the Minnesota Vikings. Only player of note on either team was T.J. Hawkinson, who was quite naturally dealing with a knee, was downgraded to out. And running back Aaron Jones is questionable, but expected to play. Move on to another 1 o'clock game. Division rival Philadelphia Eagles at the New York Giants. Saquon Barkley comes home. Dallas Goedert is dealing with a hamstring, is out. Giants, Malik Neighbors dealing with a concussion, should play. Wan'Dale Robinson, ankle. Running back Devin Singletary, a groin, and running back wide receiver Darius Slayton will play. Of the bunch, Robinson was a full go Friday, and the other three were limited. Okay. Let's go to the late window. Okay. Raiders at the Rams. Jacoby Myers was out of practice all week and is doubtful. Zamir White upgraded to a full session Friday and is questionable. On the Rams side, Tyler Higbee remains on the PUP, physically unable to perform list. Puka Nacua is still on the IR. Cooper Kupp and Jordan Whittington were limited Friday and are questionable. And I think Cooper Kupp is probably not going to play, but you got to pay attention to that. Okay. Carolina Panthers at the Washington Commanders. Adam Thielen still is on the IR. Running back Jonathan Brooke was limited Friday, but he has been ruled out. Deontay Johnson dealing with ribs, hamstring, ankle, was limited on Friday and is questionable. You got a wide receiver that's dealing with ribs, hamstring, and the ankle. From top to bottom, he's dealing with some type of injury. I don't know. I mean, he's questionable, but you want to take that chance. On the other side of the ball, on the Commanders, Brian Robinson is questionable after limited work and practice all week, but he's expected to play. Wide receiver Noah Brown is dealing with a groin. It's good to go. And after a full session, Kansas City, this 4 o'clock, 4:25. This is a really good matchup of the rematch of the Super Bowl. Isaiah Pacheco and Rashee Rice are still on the IR. Juju Smith-Schuster is dealing with a hamstring, questionable at limited work Thursday and Friday. Clyde Edwards-Helaire has an illness, and McCole Hardman is dealing with a knee, are good to go after full work all week. All right, the 49ers, quite naturally, Mr. Christian McCaffrey, got to put some respect on his name, is dealing with a calf and Achilles, remained on the IR. Jawan Jones got a hip and is out. Jordan Mason was upgraded from in the shoulder, upgraded to a full session Friday and will play. Deebo Samuel, dealing with a wrist, is good to go as well after a full practice Friday. Ricky Pearsall, you haven't heard that word in a while, a name in a while. Chess is expected to make his pro debut. Okay, Ricky Pearsall. Well, you don't have Jawan Jennings, so you slip in Ricky Pearsall, and I wait and see about what takes place with Ricky Pearsall. All right, then we have the night game, the New York Jets at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's start with the Jets. Tyler Conklin is questionable, had a full session Friday. Devontae Adams, the new hire, the new acquired wide receiver, is dealing with a hamstring, and Aaron Rodgers is dealing with ankle practice Friday and will play. Let's see what kind of fireworks they bring. Steelers, Cordell Patterson is out. Najee Harris had a full practice Friday and will play. Russell Wilson will start, though supposedly Justin Fields is expected to play in a gadget play role. I don't know what Mike Tom was doing. You got 2 Monday night games. 2. Baltimore Ravens at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let's talk about this one first. Rashad White is dealing with a foot, and is questionable but expected to play. Mike Evans is dealing with a hamstring. Will be a game time decision, but he's not on the injury report with a designation. Okay. Then we have the other game on Monday night: L.A. Chargers at the Arizona Cardinals. Gus Edwards is on the IR. Hayden Hurst is dealing with a groin, and wide receiver Quentin Johnson is dealing with an ankle or doubtful. Wide receiver Lab McConkey is dealing with a hip, and wide receiver G.J. Shark is dealing with a groin work deemed questionable also. Cardinals. Wide receiver Marvin Harrison is good to go after he sustained a concussion 2 weeks ago. Okay. Or week, whatever, last week or whatever. Wide receiver Zay Jones is dealing with a hamstring. And wide receiver Michael Wilson is dealing with an ankle, carrying no injury designation. So more or less, they're good to go. So let's get into the games, people. I mean, you got to pay attention to the inactives, especially on 11:30 for the 1 o'clock inactives, for the 1 o'clock games, and 2:30, 3 o'clock for the later games. Okay. 4 o'clock and after. Okay. You got to pay attention to them. If you got one of these players, one of your players that are carrying a Q or something on your on their profile, pay attention to what the inactives are, because you never know. Guy may be questionable and more likely to play, and all of a sudden, just like that, he's out. Got to pay attention and have a contingency plan. All right, let's go to the actual games themselves and see if I can help you, give you some little insight into what can possibly happen. Let's talk about the Seahawks and the Atlanta Falcons. This inside game. It's a passing offense. In a 2-quarterback league, I love Geno Smith. 2-quarterback league, I love Geno Smith. Okay? If Kenneth Walker, now you got to pay attention. If Kenneth Walker plays, quite naturally you put him in. If for some reason, and this is the dreaded questionable tag, illness or whatever, on Kenneth Walker on a Saturday, the day before the game, you got to pay attention. If he plays, if he's good to go, you play him. If he's not, then you better jump to Zach Charbonnet. This is a very good matchup going up against the Atlanta Falcons. And you want to get the maximum amount of points from either Kenneth Walker or your contingency plan is Zach Charbonnet. You play DK Metcalf, you play Jackson Smith-Njigba, and you play the kicker. They're going to be in position to score points, maybe not touchdowns, but Jason Myers is a very good kicker. If you have kicker in your roster, it only makes sense. And conversely, on the other side, you play Kirk Cousins. He's playing at home in a dome, ideal situations, a 1 o'clock game. Kirk Cousins can light it up. You see him throw for over 500 yards and monster fantasy points. He's got weapons galore. B.J. Robinson, Drake London, even Darnell Mooney and Kyle Pitts. Did I say more? And Young Ho Koo. Same situation. These teams should score a lot of points, in my opinion. Okay? Or if they don't score touchdowns, they'll be in position to kick field goals. And Jason Myers on Seattle and Young Ho Koo on Atlanta are great kickers, are very good kickers. Okay? Let's move on to Tennessee at Buffalo. Come on, man. I'm going to the road team first, and then I'll go to the home team, just like you saw me do before. I can't play Mason Rudolph. I can't. I think he's not a good quarterback. And Will Levis is out, who's not a good quarterback, but he's better than Mason Rudolph. What's that telling you? Don't play Mason Rudolph. It's a desperation move. You play Mason Rudolph against the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. Take the Buffalo defense. Take the Buffalo defense. I don't think the quarterback can generate a lot of offense. Okay? Take the Buffalo defense. Tony Pollard should be able to run. I don't like any pass catchers DeAndre Hopkins or Calvin Ridley, to me, they're not going to be fantasy relevant in this game. They're not going to be fantasy relevant. Okay? Let's move over to the Buffalo Bills with his new toy they acquired this year. I mean, this week. Josh Allen. He's one of the best quarterbacks in real and fantasy football. Okay? James Cook, they should be able to run the football against this team. Okay? Amari Cooper. Okay, he just arrived. He may not be up to snuff on the playbook, but I can guarantee you they're going to try to get their money's worth early with Amari Cooper. People may not have a high projection, but I'm thinking they're going to try to get into the end zone. They're going to make full work of Amari Cooper's skill set. And then you play Dalton Kincaid. These other wide receivers, I think this week are going to have to take a back seat because they're going to want to see what Amari can do, where he fits in. Now, he had a 3 or 4 days of practice. I think they're going to try to get the best out of him and give him basic routes. All right, let's move on to the Cleveland hosting the Cincinnati Bengals. You play Joe Burrow. Now, Myles Garrett likes to play against Cincinnati, but I'm telling you, but Cleveland is one of the lowest scoring teams in the NFL. One of the lowest scoring teams in the NFL. I'm a Cleveland Brown fan. You can see me right here. Die hard Cleveland Brown fan. I'm telling you, people, play the Cincinnati defense. Play the Cincinnati defense. The first game I ever saw Deshaun Watson play, okay, in real life was at Cincinnati. Sitting in the stands. And the first touchdown Deshaun Watson ever made ran into the end zone that I was at. Not that he was coming to me, but he literally was coming to me. He ran into the end. The first touchdown that he ever scored was against Cincinnati. And Cleveland Browns have the Cincinnati Bengals have a difficult time against the Cleveland Browns. But this is a different year, different Deshaun Watson, different altogether, different team. And he has not been playing well. And they scored, 16, 14, somewhere around there, maybe 17 points a game. Play Cincinnati's defense. Play Joe Burrow, Chase Brown, and the two outstanding wide receivers, T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. They traded away one of their best wide receivers in Amari Cooper. So who do they think they're going to go to? They're going to run the football with Deontay Foreman and Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb coming off a serious injury. You think they're going to run him in the ground? Come on, man. They're going to ease him in. He's not going to get that many carries. People will put him into a line and think he's Nick Chubb. Okay. I don't blame him. They're taking a shot. To me, it's a desperation move, but they're taking a shot. Can't blame him. Hopefully it catches light in the bottle. Okay. But play David Njoku. Their best option in the passing game is their tight end, and that's David Njoku. Okay. Houston Texans at the Green Bay Packers. This is going to be, young quarterbacks, young guns. Young guns. C.J. Stroud, absolutely. Joe Mixon, absolutely. Stephon Diggs, absolutely. Tank Dell, absolutely. Dalton Schultz, yes. I'm going to say absolutely. Yes. He's going to give you, the tight end position has been pretty rough this year. And you can't, in my opinion, expect a lot from these tight ends. Okay. It gets you close to double-digit points. Accept it. That's about what you're going to get. That's one of the best. I wouldn't say it's an anomaly, but I would say it. It's an anomaly if tight end gets double-digit points. Doesn't happen often. Not this year. Okay? So don't expect Dalton Schultz to get a lot. But those 5 players I told you about, absolutely. Jordan Love, come on, man. He's playing home. This is a passing offense. Okay? Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, Tucker Kraft, absolutely. Okay? Absolutely. And even their kicker, even whether it's Brandon McManus or Braden Narvison, even their kicker, the offense is going to get in position to score points, whether it's a touchdown or in a position to kick a field goal. Absolutely. This is going to be a very good game to watch these young gun quarterbacks go up against each other. Let's go to Miami Dolphins at the Indianapolis Colts. I can't honestly play Tyler Huntley. I think they're going to try to run the football a lot in this. Okay, take their shots down the field when it's possible. Devon Achane, Raheem Mostert. Okay. Unfortunately, because of these 2 guys are playing, Jalen Wright is sitting back in the wing, but he's no slouch. He's no slouch. I would. These are not the most durable backs from week to week, and I would put Jalen Wright on my bench and just wait. Just wait. Let's move on to Anthony Richardson of the Colts. You play Anthony Richardson. He's got value, maybe not in passing the ball as much as running the football. He's supposed to start this week with Joe Flacco sitting on the bench. Okay? I'm not feeling what they're going to do in the running game. Jonathan Taylor's out. Trey Sermon's dealing with injuries. I'm not really I'm not really high on Trey Sermon. And I really can't tell you whether it's Trey Sermon or Tyler Goodson, but either one of these are not a good option. Okay. All right, let's move on to Detroit at Minnesota, a division rival. These outstanding quarterbacks are going up against each other. The Vikings are coming off a bye, well rested, and you play Jared Goff. You know, I had doubts about Jared Goff last week going up against Dallas in Dallas. He ate them for lunch. And that was in the dome. Guess where he's played at again? In a dome. Ideal conditions. David Montgomery, go. Jahmyr Gibbs, go. Excuse me, Amar St. Brown, go. Sam Laporta, go. What else can I tell you? I mean, these are no-brainers to me. No-brainers. This is going to be who has the ball last, in my opinion. This is going to be who has the ball last. Now, Detroit is a very good run defense. The Vikings have a good defense. Brian Flores has got that defense rolling. But you play Sam Darnold in this. Sam Darnold has revised his career through the eyes of the Minnesota offensive / coordinator / head coach. You play Justin Jefferson. No, but duh. You play Jordan Anderson. Okay? Detroit's one of the best teams running, defending the run. I know some people have Aaron Jones, who's dealing with injury. If you have no choice, you got to play Aaron Jones because he gets the ball out of the backfield. But temper your expectations. You heard that dreaded temper your expectations. Well, I'm giving that to you. All right, let's go to Philadelphia at the New York Giants. Hurts, Barkley, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert is out. Where do you think most of the balls are going to go? A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. Okay. And they're going to be in a position to either kick field goals, Zeke Elliott, or score touchdowns. You got a high flying defense against a inferior defense. The Giants have been playing decent defense, but I think in this game, even though they're playing in Jersey, New York, the Metro Life, you got to play those assets that you talked about in Philly. You got to play them. I can't honestly say with this against this opponent you play Daniel Jones. He may be worth it in 2 quarterback leagues, but in my opinion, no. I wouldn't do it. Devin Singletary, they're going to try to run the football, keep the ball away from the offense of Philly. Malik Neighbors is back from a concussion. 2 games he was out. Okay? They throw a lot. Malik Neighbors is a very, very good. He's a rookie, but he's a very, very good wide receiver. They're going to throw to him a lot. Double-digit targets. And I always say targets equals opportunity in this game. You play Malik Neighbors. Wan'Dale Robinson is the other choice. We'll see what happens with him, but Malik Neighbors is the man. Even though rookie, he's the man. Las Vegas Raiders at the LA Rams. Aiden O'Connell's the quarterback. Why do you think Devontae wanted to leave? I'm talking about Devontae Adams wanted to leave. Come on, man. Really? They weren't going. They're not going anywhere. You play Alexander Madison. Zamir White is back, but Madison has been the more effective back. Okay? I can't honestly tell you, other than Brock Bowers in the pass catching option to play. And you think the Rams aren't going to know that? And you play the Rams defense against this putrid offense in Las Vegas. They're not playing in Las Vegas. They're playing in LA. Okay. Rams defense is really, in my opinion, one of the better defenses you can play this week. Matthew Stafford, you play him. Kyron Williams, Tutu Atwell, and Jordan Whittington, I should say. Or the alternates, because there's no Kua. There's no Cup. Okay? Those are 2 probably best options. Let's go to the Carolina Panthers at the Washington Commanders. Chuba Hubbard is their offense. Xavier Legette and Deontay Johnson is dealing with injury. So who do you think they're going to throw to? The more healthier wide receiver and Legette. Okay. A lot of people don't sleeping on the Carolina Panthers wide receivers. Don't do that. Xavier Legette, if Deontay Johnson was more healthy, I told you he was dealing with rib, ankle, and what else did I say he was dealing? He was dealing 2 upper and 1 lower leg injury. He's banged up, so they're going to go to Legette. Okay? Like Jaden Daniels is in line to be the rookie of the year, offensive rookie of the year. You play Jaden against playing at home against the Carolina Panthers? Really? Oh my God. Yes. Brian Robinson, Austin Eckler, Terry McLaurin. They're going to eat this team up alive. This is not going to be easy, people. This is not going to be close. Jaden Daniels is a serious baller. Serious baller. Okay? Let's move on to another 4 o'clock. This is the Super Bowl again. The Super Bowl again. And I know Patrick Mahomes hasn't been performing well. You can't You can't not play Patrick Mahomes. Okay. It's prime time game. Prime time. I mean 4:00, but it's not. It's prime. It's prime time for a lot of people. Rematch of the Super Bowl. You're playing in San Francisco this time. You play Pat Mahomes. You play Kareem Hunt. San Francisco can be run on, especially with bigger backs. You know what? Some people are downplaying, but they're coming off a bye. They're coming off a bye. If you don't know the history, look up the history of Andy Reid coming and his team coming off a bye. Okay? That's all I got to say. They got things in store for Travis Kelce, quite naturally, and for Xavier Worthy. Juju Smith-Schuster is dealing with some issues. But Xavier Worthy and Travis Kelce are healthy. And they're going to get a dose of both, okay, in this game. On the San Francisco side, you got to play Brock Purdy. This is a very good defense in Kansas City, but you got to play Brock Purdy at home. Jordan Mason may not do that much. Kansas City is a pretty good defense against the run. They may have to throw the ball. And guess who they throw the ball to? Deebo Samuel, George Kittle. Brandon Ayuk hasn't really been showing up that much. I don't think he's going to show up that much this week. I think the main focus for the Chiefs is Brandon Ayuk. Okay? And then let's go to Monday night. Okay? New York Jets at the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is going to be an interesting game. One quarterback is making his debut, and the other wide receiver is making his debut with a new team. You play Aaron Rodgers in this game. I like Aaron Rodgers a lot in this game. Okay. He's got his favorite toy. He's feeling more confident, and I think this team is going to be pumped on Monday Night Football to prove they're not the team that they were last week against the Buffalo Bills, coming up short. Okay? You play Breece Hall. Breece Hall's a beast. Okay? Play Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams. That combination of Rodgers and Devontae Adams is going to be lethal. It's going to be lethal. You play the kicker, Greg Zuerlein. This is another offense that's going to be in position to score points, whether it's a touchdown or field goal. Okay? Now, Zuerlein has been spotty at best, but he's going to get opportunities in this game. Let's go to the Pittsburgh Steelers with Russell Wilson. 2-quarterback league, you play Russell Wilson. You don't know what Russell Wilson is going to do. Supposedly, they're going to interchange these quarterbacks. It don't make sense to me. You got 2 quarterbacks, you got no quarterbacks. Come on, man. Really? Really? Najee Harris. George Pickens. Now, one thing I'll say this. I don't know how well Russell Wilson's going to play, but Russell Wilson still is one of the best deep ball throwers in the NFL. Still. May not be as consistent as he once was, but he's still one of the best deep ball passers in the NFL. And that's George Pickens, okay? Sauce Gardner and the DB on the other side are going to have the task of dealing with George Pickens, okay? You got to play George Pickens. You can't sit him on a bench and say, oh, it's going up against the Jets, and he's not going to be able to do anything. Okay, you sit him on the bench, he goes off, or he has a good game, you're going to say, I coulda, woulda, shoulda. Don't do that. I mean, I'd rather put him in and see what happens, take a chance, or leave him out and see him rack up more fantasy points than you thought he would happen, and he's sitting on the bench, and you say, "Oh, I coulda, woulda, shoulda." You can say coulda, woulda, shoulda, but you took a shot and put him in the lineup. Okay, you pay Pat Fairmouth. In the recent years, Russell Wilson likes throwing to the tight end, and in the Arthur Smith offense, the tight end is key. Tight end is key. All right, let's go to Monday night. You got 2 games on Monday night. Baltimore Ravens at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm going to name 4 players, and flex that you can play. Lamar Jackson, quarterback position. Derrick Henry, running back position. Zay Flowers in the wide receiver position. They're all starters. Justin Tucker in the kicker. They're all starters. Rashad Bateman is a flex. Okay? I'll go on the other side. They're playing in Tampa Bay. Baker Mayfield has been balling out. I got no complaints. You played Baker Mayfield. You played Chris Godwin. And if Mike Evans is healthy, you play Mike Evans. And you play Cade Otton. One of the best positions to play against the Baltimore Ravens is, the tight end position, and that's Cade Otton. Cade Otton. Okay. This should be a high-scoring game, people. And you play those assets, okay, that you have. Last but not least, Chargers at the Cardinals. I'm playing the Chargers defense in this. I don't think Arizona can score 17, 18, 20 points in this game. Don't think it. Okay? I thought they were playing better offense, but something's holding them back. Let's go to Justin Herbert. 2 quarterback league, Justin Herbert. They're going to want to run the football, which they should be able to do with J.K. Dobbins. Don't forget, put this guy on the bench. J.K. Dobbins has been the poster boy for health in the running back position. So you want to, and Gus Edwards is on the IR. Okay. To me, this is a no-brainer. If you're a J.K. Dobbins owner, you have him. If you have room on your bench, you want Kamani Vidal. That only makes sense. Kamani Vidal. The number 1 receiver right now is Lad McConkey. Okay? The other guys in the receiving, Josh Palmer and Quentin Johnson, I never liked Quentin Johnson. And Josh Palmer hasn't showed up, really. He's spotty at best. Let's go on to the other side. And Kyler Murray. Will the real Kyler Murray please stand up? Will the real Kyler Murray please stand up? I haven't seen him. James Conner is going to have an issue running against this Chargers defense. Marvin Harrison is probably, and Trey McBride are probably the only options other than Kyler Murray in the 2 quarterback league that is viable for your fantasy owners. I don't see anybody else being outstanding here. Can't. Not even a kicker. Because I don't think they get in too many positions to score any decent fantasy points. Kyler Murray, 2 quarterback league. Marvin Harrison, because he's going to be thrown to Marvin Harrison a lot. And Trey McBride, the same thing. Those are the 2 best options for Kyler Murray in the passing. Okay, people? That's all I have for now. Tune in 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this channel, the same bad channel. And we'll talk about week 8. Enjoy the week. Enjoy the games. Good luck and see ya.